Hey y'all, we're back.
Hello.
So on this episode, we're going to talk about our first big project that we've been really working on. Again, this is going to go back to our book side of things because, as you can tell in our last video, we talked about bookends and such as that. But in this one, we're going to really hit on it, and I have been creating the file from scratch. So I started with literally little box cubes, and I think it was Thinkiverse or Tinkerverse is what I've been using.
Yeah.
So I've been using that to build the actual bookend. Jessica had sent me some pictures of a bookend that she has that has a shell on it. So we took that and Jessica measured it. We are trying to get the dimensions right.
Just the L, because the L part where it sits on the shelf and meets the books is the easiest thing to start with.
Yes.
And we want to...
Well, I thought it was the easiest.
Yeah, well. We figured that was something that we can create that. And then once we have that down and we found a way to make it heavier, which I'll let you get into, but then it's kind of interchangeable for whatever figurines that we design and create and add to the actual bookends, depending on what book we're taking inspiration from. As long as we have that L, that was our base, and then that's done.
Well, and the reason why we are trying to come up with where we can do exchangeable figurines and such as that is because that way you don't have to buy the whole entire bookend again. You have the bookend, but your seasons change. Your favorite five changes.
Depending on what books you want to read.
Right.
So,
I mean, even each book per series, there may be certain characters from each book. If it's like the Plated Prisoner set, you've got 6 books there, and oh my gosh, the things that we could come up with from just that series
the changes
alone.
There.
Yes.
Well, and even, I mean, when you move through different series, or even if you have, like, it's hard to pick a top 5 right now. We've read so many, and we've read some of the big ones, which we can kind of talk about in a bit, how it got us back into it, and how we discovered romantasy. But, which I think is funny that you were always a romance reader. I was a fantasy reader. And
the two got combined.
And one of my other friends is the one that actually was begging me to read ACOTAR, A Court of Thorns and Roses, and like that series. And I was like, I hadn't read in a long time. But I finally broke down. She just brought me the book. She's like, just trust me and read it. And I read the first book and was absolutely hooked.
And I heard about it for days.
Until I finally got her to read it.
Yes.
But it started it all. And then I just devoured that series. Yes. And then after that, we moved on to Fourth Wing.
Yes.
What the heck was that?
Your little clip came out, but it looks good.
Oh, real life, it's all good. But, it started off, and that series, which is not completed yet, and we're still devastated from, was just like an emotional roller coaster that I've never had. I had a really good ride on the Inheritance Cycle years ago when I was in college. Aragon, those books, and they were so good. I've always loved dragons and, all that kind of stuff. But it lacked that, what all of us girls love, that romance side of things. And
that tension.
Yeah.
That build up.
Yeah.
And then the spice.
Yeah.
I'm here for the spice. Definitely. Yeah. But the world building is amazing too.
It's got to have a good story.
Yes.
And there's so much out there that's like romance that is just like, it doesn't build. I always say, and you know this, I've been saying this from the start, coming from a fantasy nerd, if it doesn't have a good map in the front, it's gonna be mediocre to because, and that's just been my experience. But if it doesn't have a map, to me, the author is not one of those true fantasy nerds that took the time to build out a world. And I say that coming from being a DM for tabletop games, D&D, where you have to build out a world. I literally created and designed a map, fleshed the world out,
See, you looking for the map. I'm looking for the content warnings.
Yeah.
See, you can see what worlds we come from, but them being combined is simply...
It made just like
World
amazing. Yeah.
just explodes.
Which is what kind of all the book talk stuff and like is
Yes.
about. And hey, call it what it is. There's some good stuff out there, but then there's some stuff that's not so great. We've
Right.
read some in betweens.
But then there's also some stuff that I just look at the cover and I go, what?
Yeah,
We
but
like real life things, just so y'all know.
yeah,
No
yeah.
judgment. No
Yeah,
judgment
no.
at all. Just
Not into the monster romance. But the fantasy, the romantasy is what really sparked a lot of our ideas because it was, I don't know, it got us both back into reading. After I found ACOTAR, begged you to read it, and you finally read it because you were not a fantasy nerd.
nope. I before children, I read a lot. Romance mostly. Just your, plain Jane romance. And there was
Modern.
good ones and stuff. But, I stopped reading one after having kids, of course, But then starting that back, it had my part of my world, but something that I didn't even realize I was missing.
Yeah.
And following it, the world building and the different types of characters and the character building. Oh my God.
What you can do.
I think that grabs me more than anything else because, the side characters, they grow just as much as your main characters in these romantasies.
Well, they get to the point where you have multiple points of views from
Yes.
several different characters, not just the main characters. And something I love about fantasy, it takes you away from reality to a world where magic and dragons and these beautiful landscapes and amazing things that can happen that I think we all want an escape from reality a lot of times. And me, I've always like, man, if I could live in a world like that, and
I'd be dangerous.
Yeah. That's why I like to play D&D, You got magic fireballs, somebody makes you mad. But they're so good. And when the story is, like recently, where we just read the second book to Shield of Sparrows, Rights of the Starling.
Oh. Y'all.
The ending of that book. And I know you saw it coming. I did not. And I was like, what the what?
Well, the only reason
so
I knew it
good.
was coming was because I literally read the first 15 chapters and I had to stop and I was like, wait a minute, there's something going on here.
Well, I was trying to figure it out why we had two different
I went back and started all over again though. I reread the whole thing again and I was like, oh.
Well, and something that has shocked me is I've seen other YouTubers, TikTok talk about that book. And a lot of people said they skipped Caspia's point of view because they didn't want, and I'm like, you missed the entire story and no spoilers. But if you did not read that part of the book, first of all, the author put it there for a reason.
You didn't even read the book if you skip that.
You won't understand the end.
Look, I'm getting chilies. How can you skip that?
Well, Caspia was so good. And then the way it comes back around at the end, I'm not going to lie, when the flip happens, I was so confused. I was even ranting to my husband because I was like, I have no idea what's happening because the characters just flipped roles. What is going on? And then when I realized what the author did, I was like, oh, I will forever follow her because that was you got me. It was so good. And I cannot wait for the next book. It was amazing. But the world building. The world building in that book is
even
so good.
Creatures.
They're unique. It's not your cookie cutter dragons and stuff like that. It's so much more. But those books like that
are the reason why we're
passionate about making things for our bookshelves and stuff. And
the reason why we have bookshelves
Yes.
is because of these books and our book subs that we found out about when we started getting into reading
Arcane
again.
Society.
Moonlight. Okay.
So good. So good.
So, Midnight Whispers.
Yep.
Midnight Whispers.
My personal opinion, Arcane Society, they just hit the mark. Those books, even my husband, who loves to look for the front covers. The first thing he's like, I want to see the front page. But he even admitted when like some of the others are great.
Yes, they're all great.
But the quality, I let him hold one of the other special editions versus my Arcane that came in, and he was like, oh my God, I can feel the difference.
The weight, the paper quality,
the print, everything, the way it's all designed. Their designers, top notch.
Yes.
Top notch. And I love how you get the first 2 books of a series and then they finish it out to where you can get the rest of it. So they have become by far, and then Moonlight Box, love them too. I would have never picked up Lies of Lena.
Right.
Before it was one of the, the monthly book subs for Moonlight. I thought it was a one-off. I should have read.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter because I was going to read it in between.
And sent me down the rabbit hole.
I read that book immediately before, when I was about 3/4 of the way through. Ordered the paperback because I'm waiting for Moonlight to do the next book.
Yes.
Ordered the second book paperback and devoured all of that in a matter of like 3 days. And then was just dying for the third book. Found out that there was a 2.5, Memories of Merrick. Went and read that one as well. Completely flipped my opinion of a few characters.
Hey, no spoilers.
No
I haven't
spoilers.
finished that yet.
If you have not read Lies of Lena, Sins of Silas, and Memories of Merrick by Kylie Snow, please go read it. It was so good. If you like that balance of this, it does get a little spicy. Oh,
I'm here for the spice.
But the story is also so good. I'm so invested into so many of those characters. The world itself is really, really good. But those kind of books is kind of what's brought us to where we are. And we got so into the special editions. And I think my reason for that, and I think you being more creative than you realize, is they're not just an amazing story that you want to have and be able to reread. They're also works of art.
Oh, they are.
They inspire, like they hit that creative spark inside me when I see those. I'm like, that is beautiful. Like I want that on display, just like one of my art prints or an original. Like they're so beautiful. And I also love that it supports artists, where a lot of these book subs have, actual artists doing the covers, the insides. Like they're so pretty. So they deserve something to really accent them on the bookshelves.
Yes.
And
walking into your room though and looking at your bookshelves, I lay in my bed and turn my lights on while I'm reading, and just it's like a world behind me.
Well, it's like creating your own little sanctuary. And I will share at some point on like our socials, like the before and after pictures of our, like my bedroom. And I never liked it the way it was, and it was so undecorated because the colors that we used on it when we built our house, we were into the kind of the ocean stuff, which with the diving that me and Brian do, I've got a lot of ocean theme throughout the house, but it just didn't feel cozy for the bedroom. I never could quite find stuff that I wanted to decorate with, and it was where we, slept, and that was it. Yeah. I didn't spend any time in there, but it's a good sized room. And there was so much, because it's got like a sitting area and all
right.
that.
And she's not lying. It's a good sized room because I helped paint.
Well, the books inspired. It's crazy how stuff like that can spark creativity and has brought us to what we're doing now. But once I got a vision for what I wanted to do, because I decided I wanted to turn that room into somewhere I wanted to be. I wanted to change that whole sitting area that was empty into a library, and I wanted to put all of my special editions on display and put fairy lights and pieces like from the stories and things like that. And even I actually have a few of my paintings displayed up above that I did that kind of go along with.
It's beautiful.
So I took a room that was just a regular room and turned it into a whole fantasy vibe. Painted the ceiling, which could not have done without help. Painted it.
My feet, my shoulders, my back. I don't know if I've had a workout like that since I was a teenager.
That's what you have friends for. But I decided in the tray ceiling to do something unconventional. And here's the thing I say from one creative to another. everybody thinks, oh, you know, as an adult, you got to be boring and you got to have that house that nobody judges. This is my house I pay the bills on, and I'm a fantasy nerd, and I've decided to let it show. And what I did was, in the tray ceiling, painted it dark, dark midnight, almost black. And on Amazon, found these more realistic little tiny circles of different size glow stars. And my ceilings are 9 foot. So it's a little bit further up, and then the tray is a little further up than that. So it's about 11 foot in the tray. So stuck all of those up in there, and redid like the ceiling fan and everything, put one of like the medallion things on it that's gold, turned it to bronze, all that. Did the walls, the dark greens, and then did the bookshelves, found the sparkly night stars, like sheer curtains, but the dark curtains over it. Found the old mirror that looks like something out of Beauty and the Beast.
Yep.
And put the like candles on the walls. And
one of the sheer curtains we found at a thrift store
Yeah,
when we were thrifting for our books.
they were like $10 for the set.
We like to hit the thrift stores looking for things to put on our bookshelves.
Yeah.
Hence, kind of again, while we're getting into side quest studios,
Designing stuff for that kind of stuff.
because we spent a good year of every other week for going into thrift stores looking for stuff.
things. Yeah. Did a lot in that
Yes.
room. And now when you walk into it, I can't wait to do the before and after video to
yes.
show. But when I walk through that room now and I look at my bookshelf, and then I have like, the Temu LED like
Yes.
branches that I put up above the bed that
Yes.
twinkle, and at night when we turn the lights out and you look up at the ceiling, it looks like the night sky. It makes me so happy, and I don't care who judges, because it's my house and it makes me so happy.
No judgment here. No judgment coming from anybody, please.
I don't care. Well, my thing is, why as adults do we have to be like,
Why do we criticize
boring?
each other so much worse than when we were kids?
well, expressing yourself
Yeah.
in your own home, like, to me, that brings out your own personality.
Right.
Having the same boring gray or tan walls with the basic pictures and stuff, like, it's fine if that's your style and you're not like that creative minded person. But if you are, it's one of those things, it's a way to express yourself.
Right.
Even like our game den that we've created, that most people walk in there and go, wow. But then they're like, this is awesome. I'm like, yeah, it is.
my shed turned studio.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. So you let your personality shine through.
Which
But
now I will say, she did make me go with lighter colors because I have such a dark soul that I wanted darks. And she was like, we can't do darks.
you like more
but-
dark academia.
Yes.
It is your vibe.
But
Not the best for a workspace, because actually I'll also do the before and after for my studio
Yes.
space here. But
Yes.
Originally it was where we had our computer room, game room. It's smaller than the one that we're in now. But it was dark forest green.
And the pictures literally of the year before and after of your studio was the reason why, even though I love dark colors,
It sucks the
I
light
went
out.
with lighter ones
You
because
can't see.
Well, I'm also basically blind and trying to take supports off. If you 3D print, you know that sometimes supports can be such a pain in the buhonky. Gosh, and I can't tell you how many prints I have broke trying to take supports off.
Yeah.
So better lighting for
See
a
what
blind
you're doing.
person, so that I don't break my
Yeah.
prints as much. So
Well, and the before and after in here was crazy because it was so dark. I
Yes.
could not get enough lights in here. I had, my actual desk lamps. I had the overhead lights, but it's just like that dark color just seeped the light away, and I could not see with a lot of like the things I did. So I kind of wanted an airy, cute, cozy feel in here with some greenery and stuff. So I went with the light, like Whispering Peach is the name of this color. And like when I open the window and the sunshine comes in, there's so much light. I have the overhead like lights underneath here that we've got off right now, but there's so much light in here. I can see what I'm doing. It's also got a much more, ironically, even though it's brighter, it's a cozy vibe. But now I do love the bedroom with the dark, and I've got the fairy lights and things. That's the like fantasy getaway kind of thing.
So that being said, the reason why we are taking this side quest, is because of getting back into reading, our creative stuff,
Building our libraries and decorating them.
I mean, and realizing within decorating our bookshelves and everything, we realized just how little there is. And which we know that, you know, the romantasy is a new genre and stuff, but still, like, when you walk into Books A Million and, you know, you see all of this stuff for, like, one book, Lights Out. Not a fan, no judgment. But there is this whole freaking thing of all the different stuff for it.
Yeah.
But then, you know, you've got books like Lies of Lena, and most people don't even realize how good it is.
Yeah.
So
it's not as mainstream.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
but it's good.
you know, again, no judgment. People like what they like, and this is a judge-free area here, but we have our taste. Other people have their taste. So, again,
being able to create stuff for things that don't exist, for stuff that we do enjoy, was kind of the thought process behind this. So once we really started building out our libraries, when I redid my bedroom, created the library space there, started decorating it, you did the same thing, and we started doing 3D prints of what was already available. But then once the events happened that have created side quests, that's when we started talking about, okay, what should we do for our first big project that is something that we are passionate about? We spent an entire day. This one dragged me from can to can. Had a good time.
we did.
Great Thai food.
Oh, yes.
But we could not find bookends
at all.
Period. If they were very modern art look.
I don't want a ball on my bookshelf.
Or a half stick man, or, you know, or
a
a
clock.
polyhedral thing.
Yeah.
We wanted something, and then, you know, again, they have bookends occasionally that are like dragons or like the swords and stuff like that.
But I don't want just dragons either.
Right. We wanted
So-
some, like, why is there not stuff that more brings out the, like, things from other books that we really, really enjoy?
Well, and talking about the book subs and stuff, these books are not just your normal, just small little books. They're heavy. They, you know, like, so when you, for like my books, bookshelves, they're open. My husband did my book wall for me with a poplar wood that we cut off of my daddy's property. And so they're open. I don't want to take away from my wood. And I also don't want to take away from my books either. So I don't want this big whatever sitting up there to push them all in. Right now I'm struggling to put more than like a series together because they start doing this. So again,
Bookends are too light.
yes, too light, not quite tall enough to like actually keep the book straight, such as that. So
Well, in those special editions too, when they start, you know, they start doing this.
you don't see your
They don't
straight
s-
edges.
Yeah,
It
well, and
starts
they-
spreading out.
Well, and the book kind of gets warped. Things
Yeah.
you don't want that.
No.
But we also don't want to pay $100 per bookend for like the granite looking ones and things like that, or like
Or-
the geode ones and stuff.
And I've even Googled some and looked up, and it's like sometimes some sets of bookends are like $250.
Yeah.
And they have no, like, I mean, it's just, why would you want to put that on your bookshelf when you've spent so much time enjoying the world just for you to look up there and see a plain Jane just bookend?
You want reminders of,
Yes.
especially I was looking for, well, like you talked about the Plated Prisoner. I want a set of bookends for it with, you know, like the goldfinch, the ribbons, the open cage on one side, and things like that in the gold. And like I can do some painting details to it, maybe twist the vines of, you know, the rot up in there. So to where it looks like maybe it's bursting through one side of the books and out the other. Like when we read Quicksilver and Brimstone, you know, the inspiration for like the art piece that I just did the video on, where, you know, the cute little Arctic fox and the butterflies, you know, doing some bookends with that and the snow, and, you know, we have ideas like that.
You know what?
What?
This is way off subject, y'all. We could do book inserts too, to where if they come off of the bookends and there's an insert in the middle of a 6-book series, Oh, sorry, y'all. Yeah.
Well, that's what happened.
My brain just went.
Well, through our conversations, that's kind of how stuff comes up.
Yes.
That's a good thought. We need to write that down. We're done.
Yes.
But, that kind of stuff, creating things that are from series that we love to put on our bookshelves. Share how we created it. So if other people are like us and like, I could do that, you could. Or if we get it to where we can create some that are available for purchase, we can put those out there for people who aren't necessarily wanting to go through all the trouble to do that.
Right.
But have the same interest in some of the book series that we're hoping to do things for.
Now I'm excited. I got a whole nother thing I want to think about. I'm going to have to write this stuff down. Y'all, see, this is why the ideas, you talk about one thing and it could lead to so many other things.
Yeah.
And
two heads are always better than one.
well, and the thing with us is we're not afraid to attempt it.
Yeah.
And that is what we are here for.
You already failed.
Yes.
So
let's talk about the bookend. This is the latest print that I have. Yes, it's yellow because I wanted it to be bright, but I put our little sticker that we created on here. Ain't it cute?
this little dragon.
So yes, it looks like a simple little L. You would think that it's simple enough, but I mean, it's hollow right now. So what we have been testing is we print the file. I've tried Castall. It wasn't heavy enough. We picked up Quick Creek. I think that's how you say it. Quick Creek. Yes. Mm-hmm. And I have been attempting it, and
there's been some challenges.
Well, I've had to adjust the file to make the sides and stuff thicker. So because the first one I did the wall loops thinner. Well, the Quick Creek, the liquid seeped through. So we had to thicken it up. Then next was deciding how much, because trying to fill this up, it takes a lot. So I was like, okay.
Well, originally we actually planned on we were just going to do a mold.
Yes.
And we were going to actually do the concrete and then take the 3D print off of there. But the more we thought about it, it's like we could do less concrete if we figure out a way to infill it, still make it heavy, and we can do more detail on these later on with intricate things. The colors, it would be less work on making the concrete try to be smooth and plus this makes it sturdier, because concrete, if you drop it by itself, we were afraid it'd bust. So
did the wall loops. If you're into 3D printing, you know what I'm talking about. Did them a little bit thicker. So the last one that I did, when I went to put a hole in it, it cracked. So this is where the husband comes in handy. Josh was like, well, you need to do a little hole here, then make your hole bigger. And I was like, that's your job. You figure that part out. No.
And then he's like, I don't work for SideQuest.
But I went ahead and used it to test out if the walls were thick enough to keep it from seeping through.
Yeah.
So I did put the cement in it. It did not seep through, but the cement expanded. Mm-hmm. So it popped the plastic 3D print on it.
Which we were worried about.
Yes.
And it did happen.
So now, one thing I am proud of is my little magnet hole.
Which is part of our unique idea, yes. I feel like.
So you'll learn about that. But that is perfect. Don't have to change that. But we're still going to have to test more of these with the cement in it. Figure out the ratio, figure out the thickness, and because if we have to go any thicker with the walls to keep it from expanding. So there's so many different things that you wouldn't even realize that you're going to have to do to create this. Yep. And we could do a simple little bookend if we wanted to. But the whole point of this is it being unique for things that for our world.
Yeah.
For our books that bring life to things that we never would have even experienced if we wasn't reading.
Yeah.
So why not give it the time to make it perfect for when I walk in my room and I say, hey, I want to change that. All I have to do is change it. But it's also keeping my books up, the quality of my books. I don't have to worry about my books sagging. Because,
sliding.
Yes. I mean, so trying to minimize where it won't take away from the bookshelf, but it also hold the book up.
Add to the decor rather than, yeah.
Yes, add to the decor. It is a process.
Yeah. But getting the L done was the first step, because once this is done, then this is our main design, which we can always change up and stuff later to do different, variations of it.
Yes.
But getting the main L done, the reason why this is so important is because the idea that we had after another conversation session that we're like, oh my God, what if? Sometimes your tastes change, or you move your bookshelf around and you end up moving one series up here and featuring another one. It just depends. Instead of buying new bookends every single time when your tastes change, what if there was a little magnet and we had different figurines that fit onto the actual L of the book with magnets in the bottom, and you could just snap it off and pop a new one on. So depending on what series that you want, we are hoping to have different figurines that are inspired by other series, so that if you want to get a L with a figurine and then just buy figurines that we've printed and painted to switch out for different book series, you can buy those. And
I'm so excited, y'all.
I'm excited too, because I want these for my bookshelf.
Well, I mean, not just that though. Like, okay, say if you wanted Agatar and Plated Prisoner on a shelf, that's a big that's a
2 big series.
Yes.
Yeah.
But instead of having to buy a whole entire bookend for Agatar or for Plated Prisoner, you could have different figurines on the same bookend, so it's not taken away, but you have something from Agatar, you have something from Plated Prisoner, all on the same shelf.
Yeah.
Without having to have 2 different types of bookends. Like, the possibilities are endless with this.
You can do so much.
Yeah.
And now, like you just talked about it, because don't know why we didn't think about it before, but if we do the inserts, you could also do those as well.
Like, you could, I mean, if you did inserts or anything like that, you could literally take it from the bookend and build something that goes over it.
Yeah.
And connects to the insert.
Yeah.
And literally have like a complete display.
Yeah. And it be heavy enough to actually hold your books. Because those big series, like you were talking about, especially when you have the heavy special editions like Arcane Society, those books, even if the book is only like that, those things weigh a ton.
Yes.
So the big series, like Kingdom of Lies, also another one you really should read. Loved Kingdom of Lies. I have the whole Arcane Society set
And I have
those.
the Moonlight.
They're heavy.
Yes.
Those are some dense books. So I have those right now just smooshed in between a lot of stuff to keep them held up, because again, I only have one bookend that is heavy enough to actually hold those. And it was very expensive. Hubby bought me, that was from Wizards of the Coast. It's the Red Dragon. It's holding up my Aragon set, but it was a single bookend that's really big, very heavy. So we're kind of hoping to get something that's heavy like that, but is, different series that you can switch out.
Also trying to keep it inexpensive, so that way, because like for us, we spend a good bit on our books.
Yeah.
And I don't plan on stopping buying my books.
As long as there's more coming out to read.
I was about to say, that's not going to end.
We got a lot we're waiting on coming out this fall.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't want to spend all that money on bookends when that's not even the point of bookshelves.
Yeah.
So we're trying to create something that you can be creative with, but also keep it inexpensive.
Yep.
So,
well, and you don't have to buy the entire bookend, so that if we get this working correctly and get it available on our shop in the future, once we get it honed in, You can buy at a lesser cost the just swap out figurines, unless you want different color like L bases, So it's one of those things. Or even if you want it, you like the figurine you have, but say we did the bookend that it came with, the L base was the pearl white.
Yeah.
Well, we have one that comes out that's the sparkly iridescent black, and you would rather have that one. We'll be able to offer just the base, so you could swap the bases out as well if you want to change it based off of, if you get, like I have right now, I have the just regular hardback plated prisoner that's white and gold. So it would look better to me with like white gold bookends. I've got the Arcane Society one coming.
Exactly.
That's going to be much more detailed, more gold. I probably definitely, instead of white, want a dark gold or even some black and stuff to go with those.
Elegance.
Yes. So I want to swap those out. So it just kind of depends if you're like us and you may have a basic series and you do the book subs, or they come out with a series that you can order and you get it, the colors are different and all that. You may want to change up your display, and have something that matches it a little bit better. So you'll be able to swap based on your babs, kind of thing.
Well, and I mean, with it, romantasy being such a new genre, there is so many coming out. And I've not been, I mean, there's some books that lack what others have. But I have yet to be disappointed in any of the romantasy books that I've read.
I've only had 2. The one I did not finish. I won't say what it is because I don't want to diss on the author.
I agree with you on that
one. But that one, there are some out there, which I think every genre has this.
But that's not the newest ones. That's some of the ones that I think like original, like they're older and they're completed sets, or series, sorry.
I would give the author another chance on some of the newer stuff, but it just felt like there was so much potential, but instead it was just the whiny character that you're like, oh my God, get over yourself. And it just never got better. And by the 3rd book out of the 4, I'm like, I can't. So there are some that are like that, but I think when new genres come out like this that become so popular, like how Book Talk got created and the bookish world in general, there are going to be some that you do run into that are just like the one that I just tried. Again, not going to throw it out there because I don't want to bash an author if somebody else loves it. But it was like, there's no world building. By the first quarter of the book, it's instant like, oh, they don't even know each other. It's been one day and they just can't be separated. I'm like, where what? That I can't. And maybe sometimes people love that. If you love that, it's totally fine. If you like the just instant quick fix like that, if it's a 3-book series like this one is, I'm going to need some world building and I'm going to need a reason. Which I might be a little judgy because of some of the ones I've read recently are some of the top-notch books.
Top tier.
The build-up and the tension and the longing and the becoming friends through the hardships and learning each other's heartbreaks.
The character building.
I can't from this point of view. And then when things happen and sparks fly and you're like, ma! I like the build-up. I don't like the instant just, oh my God,
even I love all of that, but even where like there's been some that when I finished them, I've had to go get in a hot bath and just cry. I even love those.
Yeah.
Like, I know that is like self-sabotage, but I enjoy it to the fullest.
You still remember when I finished Iron Flame and I sat and cried and just stared at a wall for about an hour? I cried at work! And then
all day.
The song that came out, and when they said it's been my honor, I started crying in my cubicle. But I wasn't the only one. There were several other girls did too. I'm like, why am I doing this to myself?
When I introduced you to the song.
But it's one of those things to me. Those are the good books. You like to be devastated, even though it puts you in those holes. It's just like, those are the series that stick with you.
Yes.
And even just like, I know we keep talking about Plated Prisoner. It gets a bad rap for the first book. The first book
is absolutely horrible.
Horrible! It's so horrible in so many ways. Not necessarily the writing. The writing isn't like, oh my God.
It's just everything that's happening.
It's the book itself and what's happening. You feel like you need a cold shower. And you're just like, what the heck? Oh, like the very first chapter, the first page, I opened it up and I read it and I looked over at my husband. I was like, I don't know if I should read this. And
but I told you to keep going.
You didn't tell me to keep going.
I told you to keep going.
And I was like, okay.
Because I read at the light speed, literally.
Speed of light.
Speed of light.
Yeah.
Yep. That one. See, I'm in book world, but Jess savors it.
I like to take my time, and my imagination likes to build that world. I literally see it play like a movie in my head. But that one went from so horrible, and you're like wanting to scream at this character the more you
to
learn.
falling completely in love.
To I cried so many times in the last 2 books, and
when you literally laugh out loud, cry.
The whole roller coaster.
Like you go through every single motion within a couple of chapters. You know that the series is going to be amazing.
Again, no spoilers, but the character that I hated that
you
found that part, and what happened was so tragic, but so beautifully done that it had to happen the way it happened, and you just sit there and you cry and you wish that it wasn't that way, but at the same time it had to be. When you have those moments like that, and it just feels so good. It's one of those that I have told several people, and my other friend, I'm trying to get to read it. I know the first book is rough, but I will say this, having finished the series, without that harsh, horrible reality, you would not appreciate where it ends up. It is one of those, you have to come from the awfulness, I don't know if that's a word, but I'm using it, through that to understand and appreciate how things end. And it was such a good story. And those are the ones that inspire us to do this stuff. No judgment to anybody who wants their quick fix. But I am, at heart, always have been a fantasy fan. And adding the romance aspect on top of that is just what I look for.
Well, I mean, even when I read romances and stuff, like, I didn't like emptiness. Like, I liked there to be, sometimes, when they had bad backgrounds and they created, or they grew into a person that, you go to love because they were such a doo-doo head before. Like, I like the fantasy in the world building too, but I also enjoy the character build. Like watching people, or watching them grow within that book, because for me, it gives me hope about people in general.
Yeah.
Because I try to see the best in everybody. Yeah. But you don't know people's stories.
We connect with characters. Yes. And I personally do. I don't know what this says about me. I love the morally gray, but at the same time, the ones that, good example, the Tenebrous Court series. Oh, it's so good. Yes. I don't know why it doesn't get more attention than it does, because dang, that was a good series. And Bastion, and even like, it was something about Catherine that I could just connect to. Yeah. And that character was so real, but in a fantasy setting, and the things that she was dealing with and where she come from, she wasn't some magical princess that just, is going through stuff and then works out. She come from just the bottom with nothing, no magic, just human, and abandoned, and still tough as nails and trying to survive. And the things that she went through, and
the growth, and in her character,
and how she got away. And again, not giving spoilers, but how she got away from the situation you was in, because the whole first book you're wondering, like, how is she going to get out of that? Because once you meet the main guy, you're like, okay, how is that even going to be possible? Because this is a problem. But the way it come together and how good it was such a good story. And it was so different. I think that was the thing too. It was its own thing. Mm-hmm. So
It's one of those that you wish that you could forget and reread.
yeah,
Really.
it was so different.
And it's so underhyped that people don't realize just how much they're missing with that one.
I have 3 different versions of that one in special editions.
So
It's one of those, again, that has inspired this kind of stuff.
Yes.
Because I have the whole, like, biggest top of my bookshelf, a whole display that is those different series of, well, different sets of that trilogy and some props and things that go along with the book. And I just absolutely love it.
well, Side Quest Studios, we decided to take the side quest, a permanent side quest.
Where the name come from, because quest is literally, I've done that my entire life. Every game has the quest that you follow, and there's the main quest. But I'm one of those gamers, I'm sure there's some out there just like me. It takes me so long to finish the game because the side quest, I have to finish all the side quests. And I'm like, well, what is that? And then I end up with a quest log this long because I can't, I'm like, well, I need to move the main story along. And people ask, have you finished the game, Lynn? I'm like, no, but you've been playing for so long. I'm like, I'm doing all the side quests. I have to 100% it. So this kind of felt the same way.
Yes. This is our long-term side quest.
Yeah.
Something that it's not a job, because we are creating things that we love from the books and the worlds, that gaming world, the book world, just
inspire us and make us happy.
So, the things that you're not going to find on Amazon or on the bookshelves or anything like that, that is what we are trying to accomplish here.
Yeah.
And I hope in a year we look at this video and we're like, dang, look how far we've come.
I know. We need better lighting, better cameras.
We will get there, though. We'll get there.
That's the thing. It's not worth those investments until I feel like we earn it, Yes. And we've got to learn how to do this. But I feel like we have a good idea, a good back and forth, and I hope it's at least entertaining. She entertains me all the time, so I'm hoping she's entertaining. But, we also love to create. So
yes,
that's why we've started this project. This is where we're at with it right now.
It comes from creativity and passion, though.
Yeah.
So much passion.
Yeah. Hoping that we can do something awesome.
Yes.
And we plan to, in the future, if we can get the bookends done and get some of that going to where we can kind of small scale mass produce it, because we have to make these by hand. We only have 2 3D printers.
Yes.
And there's only 2 of us, and I can only paint so fast.
Speaking of the painting, sorry. That's the thing about our figurines, though. Y'all have to keep in mind. You may be thinking that we're talking about just cutesy little figurines or whatever. No, that is where the work's going to come in. And Jessica is, her art, her drawing, those are what we're going to be bringing to life to put on these bookends.
Yeah. The plan is when we come up with ideas, I'm going to sketch them out, draw them until we kind of get happy with a final, because we're also going to have, the split one side and the other, get those figured out. And from there, once we're happy with the figurine of what we want it to look like, I'm going to transfer that over to Mallory, and you're going to take it, try to put it into a 3D software, start creating an actual physical 3D object.
Yes.
And then at that point, we have to get it to where it fits into this little L.
Well, and it's not necessarily going to fit into the L.
Maybe spew over or up.
It's not going to be in just this little box.
Right. So, I mean, we're not limited.
Right.
So we're going to try to figure out how to create those. So that's kind of where the combined effort comes in. We're going to talk about what figurines we want to do. We got a couple ideas already that we mentioned earlier.
Once we get this puppy.
This is what we're working on now. So I think you're going to have some pictures and stuff to post of the project, the fails. And that's something we want to share too. It's not just the success, because if you ever tried your own projects at all, you know that it's not going to go very rarely is it going to go straight out the gate. Everything perfect, yay, first try. No. There's going to be fails in learning, but I do like the sayings that I've said that, you know, it's not failure, it's just learning how not to do it. So that's kind of how I go about things. So this is where we are so far, which I think this is a good start. So once we try out, it's hollow, but once she does the cement on the inside, we'll see if it can hold up. And from there, maybe start testing out some basic figures just to stick in here with the magnets to see how that does.
Well, and not just figurines coming from drawings, just we'll be painting some of them, because so there will be some that are custom that when we do them, that will be the only sets that we have of those.
Well, and I feel like it'll be good that we can have different levels of it. Like we were talking about trying to make it affordable. Some of the ones that, like, if you want it solid gold or silver or pearly or black or whatever, we can have those, the 3D prints that we create that are originals that will fit on here. No paint. Those could be cheaper.
And then we'll have special editions, basically.
We'll have the ones that I spend hours painting.
And now I will be helping, but I'll be the one spraying it before she goes into the details.
Yeah. That hunched over painting. You know, I love, like, painting 3D, like, miniatures for, like, D&D and, like, the terrain and stuff that I've created, but it kills your back and neck.
That's where we also have got to get better chairs too, though. So we're getting there. We're getting there.
Everything
we're learning
costs money,
too.
But you know, it's one step at a time, and I feel like you got to start at the bottom to earn your way up. So
follow us.
Yeah. This is what we're starting with. If you're interested in this, we're gonna have more of you've got the pictures, some video of what she's done so far. We'll put that up later just to kind of show some of the fails and how we got to where we are here. And then we're gonna start doing some more updates once we get this actually solidified and working. From there, I'll have some of the footage of where we start designing what we want to do first, and then how I hand it off to you and start with you can do the 3D process and do all that, because I'm two-dimensional. I can make it give you distance and all that in a picture, but this is all you. But I got a 3D printer. I'll help print them. But that's the project. So let us know what you think. If it's something you're interested in.
Even give us, hint. I mean, if you have an idea of what some figurines that we could come up with.
Yeah.
Or if you have book recommendations, drop them.
Yeah.
We are down. I am not going to say no to a new read if it's going to make me go get in my bathtub and cry.
We love to be devastated. I don't know what that says, but this is just our first update on what our first major project is. So if you like this, give us a subscribe and a like, and we'll update as we go. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Hello.
Bye.